Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of a great millstone who were well and who taught us truth. Today's lesson will be entitled, We Are Entering into Dangerous Times. We're entering into dangerous times. Somewhere along those lines. And just as it says, we'll get straight into it. 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we are entering, into those perilous times in the last days. So we'll get that word perilous, G5467. And it says hard to do, to take, to approach. Hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage. So we are indeed entering into some troublesome, dangerous, harsh, fierce, savage times. The times that we're living in, the times that we're entering into is going to be extremely furious, ferocious, fierce, difficult. And right here it says perhaps from G5465 through the idea of reducing the strength. Let's see what that goes into. So what it said to reduce the strength, and a lot of men in these days are going to be reduced to nothing, as it says in Jeremiah 30. And we'll start at verse 5. Jeremiah 30 and verse 5. For thus said the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. So all these mighty men that you see, in today's society, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Gervonta Davises, the LeBron Jameses, the your hard body people, your gangsters, your rappers, all these people that all these men that claim to be have all this strength and wealth and fame, that they somebody in this society. Their strength is gonna be reduced in that day to nothing. Everything that they live for, everything that they aspire to be is going to be reduced to nothing in that day. They're gonna be like women travailing. It says, verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So we are entering into very, very, very dangerous times, man. It says so that none is like it. So from the beginning of time, the beginning of, creation, nothing so terrible and ferocious and perilous has not happened to this society as we are about to see, man. To this world. We're going to go back up and we're going to get in the NLT now. Jeremiah 30 and 5 in the NLT. This is what the Lord Yahweh says. I hear cries of fear. There is terror and no peace. These are the times that we're entering into. And speaking to myself first and foremost, we got to be sober. We got to be vigilant. We got to be on the watch, on the guard, continuing to trust in the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua that he is going to get us through these dark times ahead. Verse 6 in the NLT. Now let me ask you a question. Do men give birth to babies? Then why do they stand there ashen-faced, hands pressed against their sides like a woman in labor? So you're going to have these mighty men, looking like women in that day, having, you're going to hear cries and wailings, and you're going to think that it's a woman having a child, but it's actually a man, a mighty man. Verse 7, in all history, There has never been such a time of terror. It will be a time of trouble for my people, Israel. Yet in the end, they will be saved. And when you go into the KJV, the he, when it says, but he shall be saved out of it, it's speaking about the elect of the nation of Israel. The Lord is going, so we're going to have the elect, Lord, when I'm part of the elect, is going to go through these terrible times, but the Lord is going to protect them. He's going to save them. He's going to safeguard them through that time. Because the difference between the elect and the men is that the elect have the truth. Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. So this is what is going to keep us stable in that day when all hell is breaking loose, when it's the worst time in history, when we're entering into these dangerous times. This is what is going to keep us stable. The wisdom, the knowledge, understanding that in order to get to the kingdom, we got to go through this. Acts, real quick. Acts 14 and verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter to the kingdom of the Most High. So we're going to have to go through much tribulation. And we have to go through this. There is no other way around it. Let's get that word tribulation. G2347. It says a pressing together pressure. So there's going to be pressure from all angles. Metaphor, oppression, affliction, tribulation, distress, straits. Straits, man. Look up. Let's do this. Straight. This is a situation of perplexity or distress. Now let's see. This is a causing distress, difficult. So yeah. So and it's going to be the times that we're entering into is going to be constricted, tight, difficult. Perplexity. So let's go back. It said anguish. When you go down here, it says anguish. Persecution. So we're going to be persecuted. These are the things that we must needs go through in order to enter into the kingdom. Persecution. As it says in Matthew 24 and verse 9. Matthew 24:9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. We are entering into perilous times when brothers, sisters are going to be killed for the truth. And the Lord is going to see how you're going to handle the situation you're in. Are you going to trust in the Lord? Are you going to endure? Or are you going to give in to the flesh, to the enemy? As it says, Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to endure. We got to go through these things, and no matter what, which that word endure in the Hebrew is yakal. But in the Greek, it's G5278, to remain. We got to remain. To remain, not to recede or flee. So in the midst of these perilous times, we cannot flee. We cannot recede. Recede keeps wanting me to go to them. It used to just give me the definition right there. To move back or away. To grow less or smaller. to cede back to a former possessor. So we can't draw back. Some synonyms: draw back, to decrease, diminish, to ease, to fall, to subside. We can't do none of these things. Fall away. We can't fall away. We got to, as it says in 2 Ezra 2. It's like 2 Ezra 2, what Ezra saw. 2 Ezra 2 and verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I cannot number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowned them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. So even within the midst of these perilous times, even within the midst of the worst time in history, Jacob's trouble, a time like no other, as it says, as well, 2 other precepts, Daniel 12 and 1, as well as Matthew 24. These are the ones who stood stiffly, even in the midst of the danger, even in the midst of perilous times, even in the midst of tribulation, persecution, even in the face of death. They stood stiffly. And that's exactly what we got to do with the times that we're living in. Matthew 24 in verse 21, For then shall be great tribulation, not just tribulation, but great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So we're entering into a time like no other, man. Since the beginning of the world, we have not seen a perilous, anguish, difficult time as we're about to see, man. These are the times that we're living in. And now, speaking to myself, first and foremost, is now not the time to recede, to fall away, to fall back, to let go. But it's time to, buckle down, as it says, them synonyms for endure, for your call. To remain, i.e. abide, not recede or flee. Now is not the time to flee. We got to face this head on because, again, Acts 14:22, this is how we enter into the kingdom. Going through the tribulation. It says, to persevere under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in a Mashiach. So we're going to go through trials. We're going to go through tribulation. We got to go through the worst time in history. We got to go through these misfortunes. We got to persevere in order to, prove ourselves for, so to speak. It says, to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. So with all these treatments and persecutions and scoffings that, we're going to, be faced with, especially in the times to come, we got to be, we got to bear it bravely. We got to endure it. We got to be calm, cool, calm, and collected at all times. And just bear it, man. Because, it says right here to have fortitude. Well, who is our fortitude? The Lord Yahweh Shem Yashai. We got to trust that that He is with us as long as we're doing what is required of us. We'll get a precept showing that. This is Proverbs 18 and verse 10. The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So He is our, He is our strong tower. He is our fortitude. He's our, as I said, says shield and buckler. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Psalm 91. I don't know why I didn't see that. We'll start at verse 1. Psalm 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And the secret place is His truth. It's knowledge, it's wisdom, it's understanding, which has been revealed unto us by Yahweh Shem Yahshai. It says, verse 2, I will say of my Lord Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust. Now let's get the word fortress. See what it says. This is H4686, and it says Ma Tazawad. It says net pray, fast and stronghold. So He's our stronghold. Right down here it says defense, stronghold, fortress. So yeah, He is our defense. He's our castle. He's our fortitude, man. Psalm 91 and verse 2, I will say of the Lord Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. So the Lord's going to be with us, man, through everything. Verse 4, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So this truth is what is going to keep us safe. As it says, again, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. It also says that the Lord is with us even to the end of the world. Let's see if we can. Let's see, Matthew 28. Verse 20, there's Yahweh speaking. Teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. And as it says in the, to the end of the age, the end of this age. Amen. So the Lord is going to be with us as long as we're doing what is required of us. As long as we're following after Yahweh Shem Yahshai's spirit and the truth. Because we are entering into dangerous times, and we need the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai now more than ever. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the spirit, to the body, and to the fold. And before I ended up, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Chakodash, and double honors as always to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.